Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at AnonymousRealityT. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking Love Island Games, Season 2, Episode 4, and I got an issue, y'all. Why the heck is After Sun back? We're already on an abbreviated show that's allegedly only supposed to be for 3 weeks. Why do we need an After Sun episode tomorrow? For what? It's not a full 6-week season. I don't understand it. So, nonetheless, you guys, I just had to get that out of my chest. Apparently, Amaya Papaya is going to be there as well. And I guess Charlie. And it's just like, oh, okay. All right, whatever. So, nonetheless, you guys, we start off with the episode with Kendall and Garbi debriefing their battle, you guys, to save themselves from elimination. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna hold you, I'm confused. I am absolutely confused because Garbi is up here telling Kendall that she appreciated how calm he was with her and how patient he was with her. And I'm like, did we just, did we watch the same thing? Because what I just watched was Kendall getting frustrated, Kendall cussing, and Kendall cussing you out. No. I think she was teleporting and she was thinking of the other couple. I think she was seeing how patient Johnny was with Adrina. I think that's what happened there. Because that was not the situation in what was going on with you and Kendall. No. Absolutely not. So then we have another conversation with Nicola and Zay. They are hyping themselves up because they are happy that they won and they didn't have to, be at risk for elimination. We have a conversation at Soul Ties between Chris and KK where they're just looking in each other's eyes because Chris does not want to do any type of physical affection or anything or kissing KK or nothing. So then you guys, we get the meeting of the Menaces. And by the meeting of the Menaces, I mean Tyrique and Johnny. So they have a little dap up session and Tyrique is like, well, I know that you and Adrina had history. And Johnny's like, yeah, me and Adrina had history. And so Adrina walks over trying to pull Johnny for a chat. And, Tyrique is like, I guess it's no Mia Moore anymore. It's no Mia Moore. And Johnny was like, you were telling Tyrique Mia Moore? Why is Tyrique like this? So then Johnny and Adrina, they go into the speakeasy. They have a conversation. Johnny is up here telling Adrina, I picked you up from the depths of HELL. You were in the gutter. You were at the bottom of my shoe. And I had to come in and save you or you would be gone from the show. And I'm like, Johnny, like, stop it. But he's talking it so calmly and nonchalant, and Adrina is eating this up, and she's giggling, and I'm like, he is low key dragging you. He is low key dragging you and negging you, and you don't see it. And then Johnny takes off his jacket, y'all. He's taking off his clothes so that he's just, in his tank top. And I was like, Johnny's about to kiss her. And what do you know? He kisses her and he asks her afterwards, what is she ranked the kiss? And she says 11 out of 10, right? So nonetheless, y'all, we then have a conversation with Tyrique and Chris. And Tyrique spills the beans to Chris that him and KK had a kiss in the bathroom the night before. And Chris is not happy. He's trying to play it off and trying to play it cool and say, well, see, this is what happens. This is why I don't give my all and I don't like anybody and da-da-da-da-da. No. Because you were risking it all for Hoda. You were telling Brian how you folded with Huda and got intimate with her. So I don't want to hear this BS from Chris that now all of a sudden he liked KK. And my thing is, how can you be mad when you gave her nothing? When you gave her nothing to work with? So you can't be mad that she is seeking it out elsewhere because you're not giving her the affection and the kisses and the cuddles that she's been requesting for you this whole week. Make it make sense. So then we get a scene of the girls' dressing room. Justine is freaking out because this is her first night there and everything else. And she's like, seeing all the changes and everything else. Everybody is getting ready for bed. Chris tells all the guys that he's upset that KK and Tyrique shared a kiss. And this is my thing with Chris too. It's like, I'm tired of his passive aggressive behavior. If you have an issue, why didn't you go to KK directly? But instead, you want to tell the whole villa your problem and your issues with KK, and you're up here falling asleep early, you're up here avoiding her and doing all of this and doing all of that. So, nonetheless, everybody is ready for bed, right? Everybody gets ready for bed. Then Johnny makes a comment to Justine, and he's like, listen, look here. I'm not going to hold you, but if you win again, I'm never coming back to Love Island. And we'll see, Johnny, if that, holds up. Because, maybe in 5 or 10 years, the prize money will be at $500,000. But nonetheless, we'll see if that holds up. So everybody is going to bed and everything else. And we get ready for the next day. We should see everybody making each other breakfast. However, I did not see Chris make KK any breakfast. And I peeped that KK was seeing everybody bring people up smoothies, coffees, breakfast. I guess, the spirit of Ace is gone, of making hearty breakfast, making, pancakes, making, a lot of things, because I'm seeing avocado toast again. No. I'm seeing avocado toast again. I am not seeing much on these plates, y'all. I'm seeing avocado toast, a couple pieces of grapes, and some scrambled eggs. No. This would have never happened with Ace's Villa, you guys. So nonetheless, then Adrina reveals to some of the girls in the dressing room that she kissed Johnny on the date. And everybody's freaking out. They're like, you did? Because that was no tea to them. And then, you guys, Adrina and Chris are in the bathroom. And Chris tells Adrina that Tyrique and KK kissed. And she is pissed off. And I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Then, you guys, we get a scene of Mert and Lucinda, and he has a whole pot of that oatmeal, y'all, and I think he put some fruit in it this time and some berries, but Lucinda wanted no parts of this oatmeal, and I just need to understand what is wrong with the oatmeal. Is it the brand? Is it the way that Mert is making it? Is it slop from Big Brother? Like what is wrong with the oatmeal that nobody wants it now, and nobody wants it so much so that Mert is eating it directly from the pot for himself? Is it a special family recipe? Is it special ingredients? Is there something in there that everybody's allergic to? Like what's happening? Is it hot sauce in there? Is it peppers in there? Like, what is in this oatmeal? Can somebody let me know? Nonetheless, we get a conversation with Kendall and Garbi on the talks, and they're trying to get to know each other. They're trying to do like a little, hey, let's try to get to know each other. Let's ask each other some questions, this and that, y'all. And then that's when we have the awkward, Kendall randomly bringing up, hey, so what's your favorite SEX position? And it was just so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. It was so random. It was so inappropriate. And she's like, well, I don't do SEX. I don't have SEX. And he's like, what? Are you like a virgin or something? And I'm just like, see, here we go. This is why I'm not featuring Kendall and his shenanigans and everything else. So then, you guys, we have a conversation with Isaiah and Nicola, and he's like, listen, I'm not going to hold you. I think you're a great person. I think, we work well together and everything else. But as far as there being a romantic spark, there is none. And, and it's just like, why are we doing this? But the one thing I will say that I do appreciate is, I don't know if it's due to the speed of this show versus the normal show, but I do appreciate that for the most part, everybody's keeping it a buck. for, how they feel as far as the romantic side of things. If there's nothing romantic, they're letting their couples know, like, hey, we're just friends right now. It's the people like Chris that is getting agitating because they're not keeping it a buck. But nonetheless, then we get a conversation, y'all, with Tyrique and Lucinda, and I need them to stay in the villa because they're giving messy producers. They are giving like they are the on villa site producers. And so Tyrique already started the drama last night with telling Chris that he kissed KK, but then we have a conversation with Lucinda and Tyrique, and they're laughing at all the drama, but then Lucinda, why am I calling her Lucinda? Lucinda drops the tea that Adrina had kissed Johnny. And Tyrique is like, well, I didn't know that. And I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. And I was like, here we go. And so then when KK walked across, because Kay looked beautiful today, Kyrie's like, hey, man, you look so sexy. I see why it takes you so long to get ready all day and everything else. And KK is just eating it all up, y'all, as she should. And it is just, Tyrique said that his head is scrambled, that he doesn't understand what's taking place and all of this and all of that, y'all. And then we get a conversation with KK and Chris, and she's asking him for cuddles, and he's like, no cuddling over here. And she's like, well, why not? And he's like, well, because I found out that you kissed Tyrique, and I feel a certain type of way. And KK's like, but I thought you said we were open, and you're giving me absolutely nothing to work with. And so then KK is saying in the confessionals that Chris took everything so well, he didn't cuss her out, he wasn't mad at her, so she feels, more bad and wants to be more loyal to him. No. You are single, girl. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Chris, you have asked him multiple times to kiss you. You've asked him multiple times to cuddle you. You've asked him multiple times to hug you. And he's like, I'm here for the shmoney. I'm here for the shmoney. I don't want to get distracted. I'm here for the shmoney. But he is going on this whole campaign around the whole villa about how pressed he is and how much he likes KK, but it's not showing it at all. No. Next, we have a conversation with Adrina and Tyrique, you guys. And they are going back and forth. And Adrina is coming after Tyrique, talking about, how dare you kiss KK? And I was at my lowest of lowest moments. I lost the duel. I almost could have been going home out here and everything else. How dare you? How could you, Tyrique? How could you? I thought that I was your number one. And Tyrique was like, this is interesting because, when was I going to tell you? Because, obviously there was not a good time because you were gone all day yesterday with Johnny and everything else. So when was there a good time for me to tell you that I kissed KK? And it's not like we're together. And Adrina's like, well, that's just not cool. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate anybody playing in my face. And Tyrique is like, well, isn't this the pot calling the kettle black? Because how is it that it is okay for you to kiss Johnny on a date? You didn't know I knew that, T, but you're about to come at me for KK? And I don't understand the issue because everybody's open. We're all kissing each other. None of us are locked down. If we were locked down and in an actual couple, I would be loyal to you. But none of us are locked down. Therefore, I don't need to be loyal. And so then he's like, and then he threw a dig in there and he was like, listen, Adrina, you and Johnny have history. How many more men are going to come into this villa that got history with you? And Adriana was like, well, I can't help it. I'm hot. And Tyrique was like, well, yeah, you look good. You do look good or whatever else. But, he said it was fair enough. But, he feels that the score is tied. That since he kissed KK, that's one on his side. Adriana kissed Johnny, so that's one on her side. But what Tyrique doesn't know is really 2-1 Adriana because she kissed Johnny again. That's what makes it so much funnier. She's crashing out, but she's had multiple sessions now with Johnny, and she just wants to make this about Tyrique and KK. Like, make it make sense. So, nonetheless, she walks away. She's in her feels or whatever else. We have Josh and Andrea. They are talking, and Soul Ties is crazy. They keep talking about how they're a power couple, how they've manifested their win on Love Island Games, and they just wrote over and over and over again in a notebook that they're going to be the winners. And I think they're in for a rude awakening. Does nobody not notice that there's an uneven number of people in the villa? Like, what are we doing? Then there's a conversation between Justine and Chris, and I don't know if Justine's really feeling Chris or not, but Chris like totally lied to Justine in the conversation because he's been telling anybody who will listen that he's here for that shmoney. He's not here for love. But then all of a sudden he talks to Justine and he's gassing Justine up like, oh, well, you know how this goes. You've won the show before, this and that. You know, I could be looking for love, but you know, money is, you know, I can get money anywhere. And I'm like, if that's the case, why are you on the show? Why are you not playing basketball overseas? Why are you not in the Big 3 league with Ice Cube or something? Why are you not on a practice squad in the NBA? Why are you not in the G League? Why aren't you playing any overseas ball? Because last I checked, your stats were not statting. Last I checked, there was no motion for you, which is why you ran back to the free housing in Fiji. Like, what are we doing out here? Like, don't gaslight me, Chris. Do not gaslight me, y'all. So, nonetheless, I think that is the lay of the land of all of the couples and everything else. I don't know if Justine's really into Chris, but just seeing him as a potential, you know, partner to win competitions, because Justine was like, listen, look at here. Like, this is my third time. I have not had good luck on the show. And it's like, we know. Then there was a conversation between Andrina and KK. She wanted to clear the air about everything and, you know, let her know. And she's like, you know, my issue's not with you. My issue's with Tyrique. I already know we're Gucci. So then Ariana walks in dressed as the Little Mermaid, y'all. Dressed as a Little Mermaid with jeans on Fridays, y'all. Like what are we doing? That was an interesting outfit she had on. So she comes in and she's asking how everybody's doing. She says that they're going to have their first couples challenge, right? And so she's like, but not everybody's in a couple. And then again, that there needs to be a drinking game or something. How many times they're going to mention that Justine has won the show? Multiple times. And it's giving, y'all really don't want Justine back, but y'all need Justine back to kick things up a notch at the same token. But my thing is, at this point, we know that she's won the show. We know that she's won the show twice in two different formats. Like how many times do we need to regurgitate the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? How many times an episode? We know! You don't have to reiterate it again. So nonetheless, they were like, listen, look at here. There's an uneven number of people here. So they have all the girls stand up and stand in front of the fire pit. And then they introduced Toby, who is, of course, Tyrique's childhood friend and bestie and everything else. They both did Love Island UK on separate seasons. They both played football. They both grew up together. They are true besties. And I believe right now they live together as well. So Toby comes in, gives Justine a hug or whatever else, and is acting like he does not recognize anybody. And Tyrique's like, well, that's my bro and everything else. And then Johnny's like, well, what about me? I thought we were cool too. And then Toby totally like missed him, right? Because they were obviously on the same season of Love Island Games season 1. As you know, Toby left early on the show and everything else and had lost in a duel. So before anybody else could couple up. Now, this is where I felt production messed up here, because I felt that, you know, Mert and Lucinda could have got back together and recoupled. I felt we could have seen the dynamic of whether Tyrique would have chose KK for a couple and whether Chris and Justine would have coupled up as well. But what they did instead was they were like, well, listen, look at here, Toby, since you're the bombshell, you can choose any of these ladies to couple up with and stand behind them, right? And so all of the ladies were in order based off of how they did on the first challenge. So he chose who I thought he was going to choose. He chose a blonde, you guys. And who is blonde, but not truly a true blonde, but blonde enough? Andrea, y'all. And Andrea looked pissed off because it looks like she does not like Toby's kind. But that's another conversation, right? And Josh is sitting there at rest and his face is beating red. He is not happy with these set of events and he feels like he is continuing to be targeted. He feels like there is a target on his back every which way. He keeps getting Andrea getting taken away from him and he is sick of it because he had it in his mind that him and Andrea had already won the show after a couple of days. No, it's still Love Island. So, nonetheless, then Ariana says that all of the other couples can go back to their partners, but then that, of course, left Justine, alone. and that left Josh alone. So basically they are together by default. And Josh is Justine's couple. And Josh is like, well, this is fine. You know, we're friends on the outside. Whoop-de-whoop. And I'm like, we'll see how this goes. So then they explain the NFL on NBC sponsored, challenge that they're going to do. And it is a football obstacle course. Basically, the couples are going to split up because not everybody can do this at one time. So it's going to be 4 couples at a time. There's going to be 2 heats. The first heat, what happens at the first station is the men have to fill up this colored water. It looks like they have like these cups on top of their heads, and they have to, have these colored tires and have a walkway path, and they have to pour it into the goalposts of what the NFL players, the NFL kickers, when they want to, kick a field goal or kick an extra point or whatever else, you have to fill up these tubes with the color of water that you have on the top of your head, and you have to pour it accurately, right? However, it's messy, it's slimy, there's sabotage, there's people moving tires around and trying to, mess up people's pathways and everything else to try to, get themselves the dub. But Chris and KK flew through that competition, and I think it was Kendall and Garbi that were a close second, right? And that was kind of the case for both of their rounds. Now, the second round is not the tires, is you kind of have to do a little slip and slide, but before you are able to pour the water into these tubes, you have to do like a little bit of a limbo, right? And so you either have to like put your face down and your booty up and slide through and make sure nothing spills. Although there were some people that were doing some interesting things to get across, and I was like, y'all worry ain't working, because y'all ended up spilling more water and everything else than what y'all can do with. So it made 0 sense, some of the strategy. So the first heat of the group that Kendall and Garbi and Chris and KK and Isaiah and, Nicola and everything else were in, I felt their group was a lot more tame, a lot more reasonable, a lot more just getting to the competition and just getting it done. It was very professional. It was very cool. And Toby and Andrea. I felt the second group with Tyrique and Lucinda, Josh and Justine, Solene and Mert, and who was the 4th couple that I cannot think of at the moment. It was a hot mess, basically. The second group was a hot mess. Andrina and Johnny was a hot mess. They were doing all this sabotage. Mert was trying to, mix up all the colors, but Salone kept complaining because she was like, listen, look at here, like you need to fill up my cup of water. And it got to a point where Salone was trying to dig up the slime from the floor to try to put something in her cup because Mert was doing the most. Him and Johnny were fighting over tires. Like he was just going back and forth with everybody. But pretty much it was a close call with Justine and Josh winning the first round. And then the second round, Salone. Well, what is this lady's name? I'm hearing Salone, Ariana saying a whole different name than what some of the Islanders are calling her. Like I'm confusion. So, but she won the second heat, right? So they said everybody got to come back to the villa for the results. And I was a little surprised that Ariana was not there to come back for the results, considering it was literally the same event. But nonetheless, they all got text messages to find out what the results were. So for the first heat, they said the 2 couples that were safe from the first heat and safe from America's vote was Chris and KK and Kendall and Garbi, right? And so then they said the second heat, the 2 couples that are going to be safe is Justine and Josh, as well as Mert and Salone. And I actually was surprised that they said Mert and Salone's name, right? And so then they said that the 4 couples that did not get selected are vulnerable, as it pertains to the America vote. And so then they announced who the power couple is, and the power couple was Chris and KK. Chris and KK won the power couple vote. And so they said they have a superpower that they've got to enact right now.
I thought the superpower was going to be of the 4 bottom couples that they can save one of those couples and then America would just have to vote on 3 couples instead of the 4. But instead it was the opposite. It was like, you need to take one of these safe couples out here and you need to make them vulnerable. So now there's going to be 5 couples that America has to vote for. No. How many people are going home? If we are doing all of this and only 1 couple is going home, this is a disaster. This is an epic fail. And this is a scheme set up by production just to F with these islanders to create drama. And I can't stand it. Like, what happened to just being a bottom 2 or a bottom 3? Like what are we doing? A bottom 5? Like, are we insane? So, none of the less, they had Chris and KK deliberate, right? So, I think Chris and Josh have a pregame alliance that he's not going to go against him no matter what. KK is under the impression that Justine has a large fan base and therefore there potentially could be backlash. There could be a counter attack. They could be a target on their back if, they put them at vulnerable state and then Justine does not go home. But they obviously don't know that some people may feel a certain type of way about Justine being back for a 3rd time on the show and has already won twice before on 2 different formats. And so then they talk about the fact that, Mert and Celine do not really get along like that, don't really like each other like that. There's no romantic spark. But my thing is, it was enough of a connection for them to win this challenge. And Justine and Josh are in a friendship couple, make it make sense. And then they made this weird comment about Garbi and Kendall that they're liked by America. And I was confused because I was like, Garbi's liked by America, but Kendall is not. But some people are drinking the Kool-Aid of Kendall's madness, and I just don't understand why people like to torture themselves. But nonetheless, KK and Chris come back and said that the couple that they're going to make vulnerable is Celine and Mert. And the problem with this is there is going to be a Celine and Mert hive that is going to vote in droves to save them. And it's going to make KK and Chris look like idiots, you guys. But nonetheless, they're trying to give this rationale. And Celine is like, but we're roommates in the bedroom. We are roommates in the bedroom. How dare you? How dare you? I thought we were neighbors. I thought we were cool, but I guess not. I guess we're really not that cool. And Chris is just full of it and just trying to come up with excuses, but his excuses don't make sense because he's like, you guys are in a friendship couple. And she's like, but Justine and Josh are in a friendship couple. So your logic is not logicking. And then you're trying to justify who was in a couple for the shortest amount of time. It is giving the ace strategy. It is giving the ace, the ace strategy of eliminations is living on, you guys. That Justine just got here so she cannot be eliminated. like, what are we talking about, you guys? What are we talking about? So, none of the less, that is the conclusion of the episode, and we do not get to the ultimate fallout in the aftermath. They show us the preview for the voting. So if you saw on the Tickety Talk, I showed you guys that I had 4 votes, and 2 of my votes went to Adrina and Johnny, and the other 2 went to Tyrique and Lucinda. I feel like the couple that is most likely in danger is going to be Isaiah and Nicola, because I'm not seeing people vote for them. I'm seeing a lot of people vote for Mert and Celine, a lot of people voting for Adrina and Johnny, and a lot of people voting for Tyrique and Lucinda, right? So, nonetheless, but people said that they're voting for Mert because they want Lucinda to have somebody, and people are voting for Tyrique and Lucinda because they want the chaos. They want Tyrique's chaos, and they want Lucinda and Mert to be together because they like them as a couple. So, I don't know how this is going to go, though, for Toby and Andrea, and that would be an epic fail because it's giving that maybe 1 or 2 couples is going to go, and it's giving maybe Toby and Andrea have to go at it in a duel against Zay and Nicola to stay in the villa is what this is giving. But I'm going to be PO'd if there's only 1 couple going home after all this foolishness. There better be at least 2 couples going home on Sunday, or why did we have to do all of this extra drama of KK and Chris sending somebody to be vulnerable, to have 5 couples vulnerable? Like, that's insanity. So that was the episode, you guys, as far as everything goes. Did you guys vote? can you guys let me know in the comments who you guys voted for to save as a couple? But yeah, that was it. That was all for this episode. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Like I said, After Sun will be on tomorrow, and the next episode is allegedly on Tuesday. So let me know. It is the end of the road for this video. It is finito. It is final. It is todos. It is the end of the road for this episode. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.